Uma, the ugliest man alive and the victim of a curse, was the key to finding the young woman.
Так пусть будет включен микрофон. Похуй. Даже не верят, надо посмотреть на трансляции, хоть меня слышно. Мой бубнёж ни о чем. А сейчас шипение. Да. Очень интересно. Так, а что, я запакованный, нет? Так, это у меня на разрыв, это на это, ага. По эликсирам все заебумба. Так, туда-сюда, сюда-туда. Я не помню. В принципе, похуй. Так, поехали, значит, посольство. Извините, тут немножко обосрался. Так, блядь. Поехали. Бля, спина болит. Вроде прогулялся, а спина все равно болит. Так, ТК, наверное, сохранюсь. Ручное сохранение. На всякий.
We've not got no need for your help.
Have no fear, good man. Our labors shall be done quickly. The prowlers to be banished for good.
Milton, look.
Get out!
In the flesh.
Hail, Witcher. Let us go inside and greet you as befits an old friend.
And you, fear not. We shall put an end to the rule of outlaws soon.
Found your message on a notice board.
You see, Palmerin? I told you. The griffin at White Orchard. I knew that were we only to follow the tracks of its slayer, we would in the end find Geralt.
Milton de Peyrac Peyrin and Palmerin de Lawnful. Good to see you both. In years.
Be assured, we share your joy.
You must forgive us our, surroundings. When we pledged to place the village under our protection, the village elder gave us this hut as our lodgings. He swore it is the best hut in the village.
Get involved in some squabble?
We discovered that in retreating, the Redanian garrison had left this land's tillers at the mercy of numerous plagues. The tyranny of bandits, the most onerous among them. These plunderers shall soon descend on this village to collect tribute. Milton and I will dissuade them.
We are both sworn to fight injustice and oppression wherever they rear their heads. The matter does not concern you, of course, but do us the kindness of waiting. Once we have dealt with these marauders, we have a matter we must present to you.
No point fighting bandits. Kill these and others just as bad or possibly worse will come in to fill the void.
To cast a blind eye upon the evil. There is no honor in it.
Can't stay here to protect these folk from the dangers that come their way daily. Saw what I saw. Heard them urge you to leave these raiders alone. Must have good reason to do that.
Do you suggest that should we help, we assume responsibility for their fate, for their lives? This burden we cannot agree to bear.
Geralt speaks wisely. We know neither this land, nor its peoples, nor its customs. And we have come with another duty altogether.
Ah, how I long to return to Toussaint, where all is simpler.
Soon, my friend, soon. First, let us convey our missive to Geralt in the manner tradition ordains.
So fess up. What brings you such a long way?
We are to deliver Her Grace the Duchess's message in full, with all due ceremony. For tradition
Is sacred in Toussaint. All right, fine.
Most honorable Geralt, slayer of monsters and all evils nefarious, which prey on the defenseless of this world. Whereas never have you been known to deny help to the innocent, nor leave widows and orphans to fates undeserved. Answer you now our present summons. Free us from the beast which floods our streets with blood, and sows panic in the hearts of rich and poor alike. Come to our aid, Witcher. Thus humbly beseeches you the star-crossed city's most gracious protectress, Her illustrious Highness, Duchess Anna Henrietta.
Як?
Shall you answer her call?
Anna Henrietta really say all that? Word for word?
Well, in point of fact, she said, bring me the Witcher and dare not spare your horses. Only make certain this time he comes alone. The Ducal Chamberlain added the rest. You know how it is.
Yeah, I remember.
I might add, be it unofficially, that a hefty reward awaits. Yet the specifics you will need to verify with Her Illustrious Highness.
Might be the most fervent request that I take a contract ever. And the most polite. And now we've got all that behind us. I want to hear more about this beast. Some kind of monster? Just guessing.
Most assuredly, though no one has caught a good look at it as yet. Our only sure witnesses. Bodies massacred in a brutal, horrid manner.
Look, some sketches drafted from descriptions given by those who claim they glimpsed the beast. Each quite different. To my mind, these witnesses lie.
How many victims so far?
2. When Her Grace learnt of the second, she discharged us immediately to fetch you, promising grants of land and fortunes in gold, should you answer her summons.
An ill wind blows, Geralt. The beast cannot be tracked. Folks say it wields black magic. Also, both victims were nobly born, and the start of a tourney draws near.
Anyone tried to hunt it? Knights errant, for example?
Ha! Many have tried. Baiting, waiting in ambush, but to no avail.
The beast is clever. It evades all traps and attacks of a sudden. It is like a ghost.
Experienced tracker, this is what we need, with knowledge of monsters. In short, we need you.
Beast wields black magic? What makes you say so?
The first victim vanished between bites at a feast. The feast-goers none noticed this. They saw but an open window, then heard desperate cries from the street below, where a corpse had just been found.
The second killing, similar. A night in a locked room. Servants all about the house. Guards all around the estate. Yet the beast somehow got him out, dragged him to the town square, and killed him there. No one saw, nor heard a thing.
We have no fear of creatures against which sword and shield protect, but of this beast, nothing is known. Save that it cannot be traced, kills effortlessly, and with no rhyme or reason we can discern.
Mentioned a tourney. Why doesn't the Duchess just call it off?
Simply it is too late. The guests have arrived. The best knights of all lands, relatives of the Emperor. The beast could be a threat to others, not just to Her Grace's subjects.
Got it. Before an aristocrat dies, at best it's a scandal. At worst, a diplomatic incident. I sometimes think back to all the contracts I've ever taken from sovereigns. Can't name hardly any where I came out ahead.
You cannot be thinking to refuse.
No. Just struck by a thought. How the Duchess can sometimes be... demanding.
So you accept the contract. Excellent!
We must set off at once. We long wanted this land searching for you, yet time is of the essence.
Ready to go, soon as you're packed.
Ah, then post haste to Toussaint.
To Toussaint!
His long search for Ciri led Geralt to conclude that Uma, the ugliest man alive and the victim of a curse, was the key to finding the young woman.
Теоретически должно лучше работать.
Toussaint, the land of love and wine.
Exactly how I remembered it.
You will find Beauclair has changed some these past years.
Walk about when you have the chance. You will see for yourself.
To me, place always seems straight out of a fairy tale. Knights errant, elven palaces.
You insinuate that we are somehow odd? I shall prove you wrong. This I pledge on the Heron!
Огр.
For my lady! Be on watch out! I kill a monster! All for one, for all!
А, так он не шотает?
big beast. Tackling it single-handed? None too wise.
Neither is love born of wisdom, Witcher. So, Guillaume, out with it. Which fair damsel inspired you to vow to kill that filth?
The most beautiful among them.
If he wishes to guard her name a secret, he need not reveal it.
You I do not know, sir, nor seem you a knight, yet still I am profoundly grateful, nay, indebted to you for your succor. This trophy, sir, is yours.
I'll take the trophy. Why not? Could find someone who'll pay to buy it. Put up a good fight against the giant. Got experience battling monsters?
None. In Tucson we mostly chase bandits. But I vowed I'd bring my heart's champion the head of a monstrosity, as the famed Gottfried, known as the Giant Killer, did.
You don't mean to hunt the beast, I hope. The matter's best left to Geralt.
Another challenge awaits me. Yet if Geralt is to hunt the beast, he ought to know. It struck again. The river surrendered a corpse. It washed up in the meander by the cockatrice. Damien Delatour's guardsmen are there already, securing the area.
Securing the area? Better go there now before they trample any tracks, manhandle any evidence.
Set forth then. I shall ride for the city to inform her gracious magnificence that Geralt has arrived. We'll meet later, near Guillaume's tent at the Tourney grounds. I shall take you then to see her grace.
Так, ладно. Что, у меня ничего не прервалось? Нет, ничего. Все заебись. Так, а что тут прав дает?
Brave kid, Guillaume.
Parmarin oversaw his upbringing. Guillaume is his kin.
Chasing down witches make you go crazy.
Да ладно, не все так сложно.
Can't get used to the way you knights talk, especially how you switch back and forth between flowery and, well, near normal.
We are knights errant, in the service of her gracious magnificence. When we appear in her name or speak on her behalf, we are bound by tradition. No one here. They must have removed the body already.
Let's look around, make sure they didn't miss anything. Hobnailed boots, multiple sets of prints. Ducal guard, clearly. Let's see where they went. Walked along the shoreline.
Perhaps the body lay on the bank.
Got guests. Careful.
Щи пробивает. А, нормально. Кого? А, я его шотнул. Сука. Я его шотнул, и он меня шотнул. Пиздец. Нихера там тетя. Слушай, ну так это надо мне номер поедет, то поедет мазать. Что, поедет, да?
Hobnailed boots, multiple sets of prints. Ducal guard, clearly. Let's see where they went. Got guests. Careful.
I shall make plenty of you! I shall make plenty of you! I will fell you all! Or my hand is not weakened to play
Drawn here by the smell of blood. Let's keep looking. Anything taken by the current ends up in these shallows.
Yes, the stench is fierce.
Walked along the shoreline.
Perhaps the body lay on the bank.
Only blood-soaked scraps left of the victim's clothing. Good quality cloth.
A wealthy victim, correct?
Looks it. Blood. Guardsmen pulled these nets out of the water, then cut the mutilated body free. Gonna dive in, make sure they didn't miss anything. Silk kerchief, monogrammed DLC. A noble's accessory, clearly. Need to comb the bank. Look, a boat was launched here. Guardsmen must have loaded the body parts onto it, taken them somewhere. Need to find out where. I'd like to look at the corpse before it starts to decompose.
The inn. Its patrons must have seen the guardsmen, which direction they took. We should ask there.
Seems we've got ourselves an audience.
You think this surprising? The locals will tell the children of children they do not have yet, of the day a quartered corpse was pulled from the river.
One thing. Found a handkerchief in the water. Monogrammed DLC. Mean anything to you?
Delacroix? It cannot be. Was it he the beast slew?
Seems so. Knew him well?
Long past. We were close friends once, but our paths diverged. He was a man of extremes, standing by his companions, no matter the odds. Fighting his foes to the bitter end.
Foes? You have a lot of them?
He did, but I do not see what that has to do with the beast. Ah, Geralt, you've struck a raw nerve. Memories of a time long past, to which I'd rather not return now.
I understand. We can talk later. Let's go to the tavern.
I shall have to leave you soon. Return to court.
Barely got back to Toussaint.
A knight in the service of Her Illustrious Highness knows no rest. In fact, I'd feared I would return too late to fulfill my duty. Yet it seems I've arrived in the nick of time. Son, the gods protect her. To serve Her Illustrious Highness is an honor, a privilege, a pleasure. Once you have finished examining the corpse, be sure to report to Anarietta.
Anarietta?
Her Grace, the Duchess. I forget myself at times. We address each other by our first names in private. Never in Pomred's presence, however. He finds such familiarity offensive.
Keep calm. Start no brawls.
A watering hole for traders, smugglers, boatmen. But you will find no better crayfish chowder in all Toussaint.
With no lights brave enough. Of course we have. Bravery's not enough against the beast. His dark powers. Of course, for a witcher.
Ducal clerks looking for help. Could be good coin to be made.
By my troth, could that be the musty scent of fresh pâté?
Naught else, Sir de Peyrac. I see time has not dulled your senses.
We would be honored if you would join us. Your companion as well.
But why do I not detect even a whiff of crayfish chowder?
No soup today, on account of there being no crayfish. I reckon you've not heard, but all I caught was a corpse. I awoke at the crack of dawn, as I do each day, but when I looked up, I beheld a blood-red sky.
This corpse is precisely why we're here. For the man whom you've invited to join you at the table was summoned from a far-off land by her gracious magnificence. He is tasked with tracking and killing the beast.
We invited two men to join us, yet since Sir de Peyrac in temperament is more akin to hare than hound, I surmise the other is the hunter. With whom do we have the pleasure?
Name's Geralt.
A humble introduction. You've clearly not tarried long with Sir de Peyrac.
Spare us the petty insults. Geralt is a master of the witchering trade. He has questions concerning the beast's last victim.
I was the one to find the corpse. The sun had just risen when I awoke, sat straight up in my bed, looked out the window, and beheld a sky red as blood.
Ask Geralt, please, or we shall be here till winter.
Need to examine the body. Know where they took it?
They ferried it across, then loaded it on a cart and hauled it to a cellar at Corvo Bianco to keep it cool, see?
What? Why, Corvo Bianco is Baron Rassel's estate. When he learns they've turned his cellar into a morgue, he'll set his hounds on them.
While you were gallivanting about the north, his vineyard was auctioned off.
Who was that? Woman who just left. Didn't see her before. Didn't notice her walk in either.
Doubtless Linnis, the innkeep's daughter. But hold, Geralt, because this is an outrage. Rossel's vineyard was auctioned off? Inconceivable!
It is no secret the Baron had gambling debts up to his ears. It finally came time to collect. His creditors auctioned off his property. The Ducal Chancellery bought it, in fact. Rossel now bunks with his brother in Vicar Faro.
I told Rossel he'd get his comeuppance. How long can one draw on past heroics? His creditors must finally have defined that his promises meant nothing.
Such are the times. Today's knights are pale shadows of the heroes of yore.
It's true what they say. God sent the beast to punish us for straying from the old paths.
So folk think the beast's divine punishment.
Knights have turned their backs on the old customs. Where they were defenders of the duchy, they're now defenders of their own tushes.
Why, you insolent...
Let him talk.
The Duchess trades in titles, grants honors to ill-doers. We've strayed from the path of virtue, lost the gods' favor, so the gods sent retribution.
Don't listen to that nonsense, Geralt. It's rehashed street preacher codswallop.
Yes, the rebel rousers have been sprouting up like weeds lately, each offering the same bill of goods.
They say anything else about the beast? Besides it being a messenger of the gods?
The Toussaintois are no fools. They see clearly the beast kills on days honoring patron saints.
Picky monster. Thanks for the hospitality. Time I examined the corpse.
Corvo Bianco lies a short way from here, near the tourney grounds. Just follow the road and you'll arrive.
Not coming with? Oh yeah, duty of some sort calls.
Some sort? Ha! Her Grace bestowed a great honor on me, even before we departed for Velen. I'm to play the hare during this year's game in the Palace Gardens. When you see me in my costume, you will wet yourself laughing.
A little tempted to ask a few questions, but it sounds like a long, complicated story. One involving lengthy digressions into local history and tradition. So, see you later, Milton, and good luck.
Did you hear that? To be born in Toussaint is to be born under the lucky star.
Поехали. За коровьям. Да, очень сильно. Я не помню, привязано прохождение дополнения к прокачке коровьянка. Извините. Так, вообще надо бы подумать, как бы мне воевать с этой пиздой, потому что там не все так просто. В принципе, новый доспех держит, прям вообще заебато. В шоке немножко даже. Не думал, что он настолько хорошо будет урон держать. Вообще кек. Шанс когда ебать, легендарный меч еще медведя ебанутый какой-то. Просто пиздец. Так, ладно, как все интересно.
Sounds of a fight. Have to hurry. must still be here. In the cellar. Gotta be. River muck. Carried the body in this cart. Claw wounds. From 5 separate claws. Spread of a small human hand. Footprints. Small bare feet. Lead deeper into the cellar.
Маленькие босые ноги. Так, это что?
Fell down the stairs, broke his neck. Took a lot of strength to batter this down. Used this to batter down the grate.
А, лол. Она его кинула об стену, что ли? Ну, забавно. Ух ты, какая...
You. Saw you at the inn. Why'd you kill these people? Clearly wasn't for their blood. We don't have to fight.
You are wrong. I cannot let you leave.
Show me what you got.
Слишком долгий был, походу.
You piece of filth. Damn, you're ugly. closer. Men to get to the body. What was she doing at the table, though?
Почему не красный?
Stinks. Waterlogged. Both hands amputated. Body was quartered just as I thought. Laid in water for some time. Head swollen, and something took a few bites out of it. Something in the throat. A pouch, bulging with coins. Nilfgaardian florins, from several different provinces. If the murderer did this, means we're dealing with a sentient, thinking beast. Body was chopped up after death. Blows struck with great force, but bones sliced through, not crushed. Creature that killed him had long claws, sharp as a witcher's blade. First sank its claws into the victim's heart. No Bruxa did this. Third hand. A spare? Except it's clearly not the victim's. Guardsmen must have not noticed it as they picked everything up. How's this possible? Still warm. Blood still flowing. Several monster species can regenerate. Never heard of that happening to their severed limbs, though. Or of their limbs seeming completely alive after so much time. Examine the tissue more closely later. Might learn something. So, murderer was clearly a monster, but not a Bruxa. But then why'd the Bruxa come here for the severed hand? And who does the hand belong to? Why the hell's it still warm? Now, pouch shoved down the victim's throat. What's the significance? And why was he chopped up into pieces? Lots of questions, no answers so far. Need to know about the other victims. I'll ask Palmerin to get me in to see the Duchess.
Тут птички, блядь, поют. И все в телах. И бумба. Так, пешком пройтись или можно это прошлось? Пешком. А, блядь, с этим еще челом драться и бегать, не с чаем, с конвоиром ебаным.
Need to raise a battle.
Need to speak to the Duchess, urgently.
All right, you scamps. Store is done. Go find your parents.
But the Pamarin, what about the story of Rittik and the dragon?
A tale's for another time. But take a good look at the man who stands before you now. This is Geralt of Rivia, the master witcher who lent his valiant hand to the defeat of the giant Golgott.
Master Witcher, is it true virtue always trumps villainy?
Not always. Could go either way. Sometimes virtue wins, sometimes villainy gets the upper hand. Still worth being good.
But why? If it doesn't mean you'll win.
Palmerin's story. Think back. A decent man attracts other good folk, makes friends he can count on. A rogue? Well, he can only count on other rogues. And who would you rather have for a friend?
A man of virtue?
I must agree. Now, that will do for questions. Go find your parents. Her Enlightened Highness has doubtless arrived at the tourney grounds to watch the battle in the arena. If we hurry, we'll be in time to speak with her before the spectacle begins.
Lead the way. Who's fighting? Nilfgaardian gladiators?
Close, but not quite. As we'll soon see.
Someone's gonna fight a Shaelmar? With only some bells on its tail to confuse it, slow it down?
Whatever is the problem? The beast is a gift from the Emperor, no less.
This is dangerous. Bells on its tail aren't enough.
I saw a spectacle of this sort at the arena in Noye. There, a knight defeated a Shaelmar with bells on its tail.
Might have gotten lucky. Shaelmar might have been lame. Who knows? Only a Witcher has a real chance against a healthy Shaelmar. And that's not even every Witcher. Besides which, releasing a monster that dangerous in front of a crowd? Plain irresponsible. Let's go.
Да что не защищены.
I dedicate my imminent victory to fair Lady Vivian.
It's begun. The fight shall have to end first. We must wait.
Got a bad feeling about this.
Onward!
Gotta keep it down. Here's us. Come on.
The beast heaved its falchion. The roar and thrust in one mighty pound. Fight to the beast. Its plans confound.
А есть инфа про шерференную бестиарию? Кто это? Голем? Ага, Чего? Реликт. Только смысл? Надо. Арт. Реликты. Самое. Понятно. Да нет, у вас Иван против вампиров, против элиты. Тоже надо починиться. Блять, у меня одна ласточка осталась, да? Я очень хорошо.
Not good.
Это проблема.
Soon the wizards had triumphed against all odds. The Witcher waited till the time was true, then worlds danced and spun, struck the monster right through.
Come on, come closer.
Like a bow who leaps at a love's first spurt, so the Witcher wound Selma, then its foul heart hurt. Strikes belly, Selma's eyes shrink aloud, blood transforms into jelly. was defeated by Geralt of Rivia, master of the witchering trade. Behold, as the last gasps of life seep from the beast.
Master Geralt, do what you must. Finish the deed!
It suffered enough.
The monster lies slain! The fight is done! Praised be the victors!
Forgive me. I am not as nimble as in my younger years.
You fought bravely. Thanks for your help. Guillaume.
The lad came damned close to dying.
I'm fine. Not hurt at all. Vivian?
Smile as befits a hero and keep silent. Speech clearly pains you. She approaches.
Geralt. We must talk. Vivian.
You shall talk later, in the medic's tent.
Geralt, magnificent, breathtaking.
Your Grace.
We knew that to summon you was a brilliant idea. We are delighted, ravished to have struck upon it.
And I'm truly honored.
See to our young hero. Hop, hop. For we must make off with Geralt. We should talk. We had been long awaiting your arrival. Had nearly lost hope. Then suddenly, that entrance, so spectacular.
Your Grace. Shaelmars are dangerous creatures, even to knights in full-plate armor.
Nonsense. In Toussaint, knights have battled beasts for mere glory since time immemorial. True. Guillaume suffered a few bumps, scars, and bruises, but in return gained eternal glory as he who slew the monster.
What about the crowd? Say the Shaelmar had vaulted into the stands. Would have been a massacre.
Geralt, though we value your fortuitous intervention in the arena, we would remind you your services have been retained, and as shall soon become clear, you will be generously compensated for completing another task altogether.
Your Grace, my contract. I'd like to discuss it.
Naturally, but not here. We shall need Damien. He led the investigation pending your arrival. But wherever could he be? Come, we must find him. Tell us, have you come alone? Or did Viscount Julian accompany you?
Wish to see Dandelion, Your Grace?
Yes. I mean, no. Yes. But solely to tell him we regret. Yes, deeply regret rescinding the death sentence we so justly handed down upon him. If we could turn back time, we would make certain he sat in a tower till he rotted. No, we would ensure he was broken on the wheel, then drawn, hanged, and quartered. Ah, the very man we would entrust with these tasks. Damien de la Tour, captain of my personal guard.
Your Grace. Witcher.
Greetings. Sorry to have to tell you, but the guardsman handling the last victim's body...
I know already. The creature in the cellar of Corvo Bianco. Was it the beast?
No. A Bruxa, a kind of vampire. Not the beast, but tied to it in some way.
You know this how?
Through careful analysis of the evidence, both on the riverbank and at Corvo Bianco.
Do you mean to insinuate the investigation thus far has been sloppy?
Geralt insinuates nothing of the sort. We must listen to him attentively.
I examined the body of the beast's last victim. Might have found something. Need to analyze it. A quiet place, that's what I could use most right now. And maybe the help of an alchemist or a mage. Also like to hear all you know about the previous victims. Take it Sir Delatour is my man for that.
Firstly, call me Damien, please. Secondly, you should know I spoke against summoning you here. I've heard much about you. You bring trouble, or thus far have, always. And we've enough trouble as it is. Yet we are capable of defeating the beast on our own, without an outsider's help. I've no doubt about it.
Damien, we settled the matter of the Witcher's employ some time past. Definitively. Since you have broached it, nonetheless, let us discuss Geralt's pay. Are the legends true? Do Witchers usually demand that which you find at home, yet did not expect?
Not quite, Your Grace. Law of surprise, it's something we invoke at times, but rarely. Usually we just take gold.
Disappointing. This law sounds rather romantic. On the other hand, on returning to the palace, we would likely find impatient petitioners or a set of sample fabrics for a new dress. Poor rewards, both. I fear you'd not have much use for any of the surprises we are likely to come upon. Thus, we've decided you shall receive the deed to a vineyard, Corvo Bianco, and a sum of coin. You will doubtless consider this adequate. Title to the vineyard shall be given to you at once. Surely you'll need lodgings while you hunt. The coin, however, will be yours only once you have slain the beast.
Lovely, generous gesture, Your Grace. But, Corvo Bianco, isn't it the Duchy's temporary morgue?
Is it now? The Chancellery's bungled things again, we fear. Not to be left unsupervised for one instant. Yet, in its mood, a morgue should present minimal problems to a Witcher. What's more, nothing enhances a wine's reputation better than a grim legend.
Thank you, Your Grace. I accept the contract, of course. But as I said before, I'll need some information. How'd it start? Who was the first victim?
Crespi was the first to die. He was famed once for his many glorious tournament victories. Then he grew old, hung up his sword, and took to winemaking.
Crespi was not loved by the wine merchants. He was ruthless in business and thought to cheat many a time. He asked us for a dispensation from all court ceremonies. We did not grant it. We could not. Once you've taken the oath of a knight, you remain a knight till death.
How'd he die? Where'd they find the body?
Quite unusual, the circumstance. He was at a feast when suddenly one of his fellow feastgoers noticed he was missing. The town watch found him an hour later. On his hands and knees, propped against the town pillory, his sword hanging from his neck. He had died of wounds inflicted with claws, not a weapon. Blows of great force.
So he died suddenly, but the body was on its knees, meaning someone posed it.
So it seems.
Second murder. Tell me what you know.
In the city there are certain nooks. No one reasonable ventures there after dark. Ramon Dulac's corpse was found in one such place. With the first murder, terror gripped the city. Its inhabitants grew wary, kept to safe areas. Consequently, news of the second victim came to us from a group of concerned cut-purses.
Criminals fear the beast? Telling in a way. Take it you've excluded the possibility that Ramon died at the hands of these bandits.
Do you believe me an amateur? Not hands, but claws killed Ramon Dulac. The wound was deep, clean.
His body was found in the gutter, dressed in nightshirt and cap, a pillow placed under his head, and his sword replaced by a bed warmer. Ramon Dulac, a knight who but a dozen years past was an advisor to our father, the Duke.
Someone went to a lot of trouble to make him look ridiculous. Maybe revenge was the motive.
It's not out of the question. Dulac had shady dealings with the criminal underworld, but no one ever came forth with concrete proof of any misdoings.
So, first two victims were knights, best years behind them.
The same could be said of the third. Sir Delacroix was wont to claim that in modern times, knights face new challenges, enterprise being the latest addition to the chivalric virtues.
He made a veritable fortune in the grain trade. Palmerin even nicknamed him Sir de la Stinch.
Found a coin pouch on his body. Contained florins dating from various times, hailing from different provinces of the Empire.
Delacroix loved coin, true, but had no patience for numismatics.
Lots of similarities between the victims. All the bodies were found in strange places, under extraordinary circumstances. Seems the murderer, whoever or whatever it is, has some meaning to convey.
These were honorable men. We are horrified by the disdain, the disrespect with which they were treated. These were knights of Toussaint. Blast it.
Might be the point. From what you say, none was a model of virtue. Ever considered that's what the beast's trying to draw attention to?
All the murdered men were knights who swore fealty to the 5 chivalric virtues. And even if the...
Knights of Toussaint swear fealty to what virtues exactly?
Honor, wisdom, generosity, valor and compassion.
Five virtues. Why are they so important to your knights?
Strange question.
Your Grace, forgive me. I'm a foreigner trying to understand another land's customs.
You are forgiven. According to legend, the virtues we cultivate were bestowed upon us by the Lady of the Lake. How we truly came to espouse them, none remember. In Toussaint, we believe men of low birth should be simple-hearted and obedient. We expect much more, however, of our knights. They are to be soldiers and courtiers, lords and servants. Thus the need for clear moral guidelines. At the time of his dubbing, a knight vows to demonstrate throughout his life honor, wisdom, generosity, valor, and compassion.
Beast seems to be pointing up moral decay, denouncing it. Victims were all humiliated. Might have been murdered to emphasize their lack of specific chivalric virtues.
Honor compromised by the pillory. Wisdom by ridicule. Generosity by a coin pouch shoved down a throat. It seems to fit, true, though not perfectly.
Can't discount the theory if it's on the lips of everyone in town. Say our reasoning's right. Next murder will be just as showy and denounce the victim's lack of the fourth virtue, valor. We can also assume that victim will be an elder knight.
Let's think. At the moment, all the knights are either at the tourney grounds or in the palace gardens. Our annual hare hunt shall begin there shortly. Have you heard of the custom?
Milton mentioned something. Seemed excited to prance around in a bunny costume. Not sure why. Hang on. Strange circumstances. A knight advanced in years. The famed cowardice of rabbits.
Could it be that simple? Is Milton de Peyrac-Peyren the next victim?
Milton also knew Delacroix. Told me so down by the river.
Damien! To miss something so obvious. De Peyrac-Peyren, Crespi, Delacroix, and Delac formed a knightly team. It was years ago, but...
They were a team?
They were close friends, tightly knit, and as such earned the trust of our father, the Duke. We often witnessed him turn to them with delicate matters. Later, their paths diverged.
Unlikely to be a coincidence. Beast must know it too. It's a lead, I'm sure. Your Grace, we need to find Milton, immediately.
Rather problematic. You see, the garden entertainments are due to start, and he's disguised as the hare, hiding somewhere, waiting for some tipsy courtiers to find him. The hare's hiding place is a carefully guarded secret.
We must call off the game, at once.
First and foremost, we must remain calm. Damien, order the garden searched immediately, but discreetly. By no means can we disrupt the festivities. Panic will only incite the beast to strike sooner. And you, Witcher, follow me. My gardens, my night, I shall take the fall. A murder is out of the question. I will not allow it. Not near my palace. Horses? Ready our horses! Your Grace!
What the hell? Why, I should... Your Highness, I...
Mind it doesn't get wrinkled. Onward! Hey! That is silk! Be careful! Give it to me!
Your Grace seems right at home in the saddle.
Like the wind! Clear the path! Clear the way, I said! It's here! Just round the corner!
Hurry!
We must go to where the game is being held. The participants must find a unicorn's horn, a golden fish, and a phoenix egg. With these in hand, they can deduce where the hare, Milton, hides.
Mean we need to find those things too?
We've no other option, but time is of the essence, so we shall have to break the rules. On second thought, through here. I shall show you where the hunt plays out. Then we will split up. You will get hold of the unicorn horn and the golden fish, while I nab the phoenix egg. That will be quickest.
Golden fish. Do I need a rod or a net?
Please, Geralt. It's not a real fish. Look there, towards the water. See the lights? The hunters are trying to hook the fish from boats. You must simply dive in and find it.
The unicorn. How do I catch it?
It's terribly skittish, true, but I'm sure you will find a way to earn its trust. It turns around, over there, look. The golden fish and the horn both contain things or clues that will help us find Milton. Once you have fish and horn, find me among the other phoenix egg hunters. All clear? Then let's get to it.
Appearances deceive, Witcher. Beware.
You can't pull one over on me, Witcher. I can see you're a killer.
Is the game to your liking, ladies?
Aren't we not curious trousers?
Dark secrets taints you from a fairy tale that she This is not true.
Perhaps an apple will work. Or some sweets.
We would not be in this predicament, dear sister, were you still a virgin.
Do you really wish to have this conversation again? Here and now?
Hush, or you'll spook the beast. We shall try the sweets.
Hey folks, gonna have to ruin your fun. Sorry.
Who's that?
Come on, stay calm. Shh, calm down. Easy now.
Well, that's hardly fair.
Flagrant cheating is what it is! Sirs, we must teach this scamp some proper sportsmanship.
Listen, we didn't break any rules.
True, he won fair and square.
We were unlucky, that's all. We must try to grab the next clue.
The gardens are huge. You're better off on horseback.
Unworthy. Entirely inappropriate behavior. A complete collapse of social...
The village of Ono, of Valhaven.
Golden fish should be easy to spot once I'm under.
A fruitful hunt too.
What the blazes?
Hey, wait. Stop. It's important.
King Cormorant, sire, accept this offering we bring. Prithee cast upon us your merciful eye, and bear before us its secrets.
As the moon is heavenly course doth trace, in my domain I await that moment of grace, when a soul of good or ill repute brings me a gift, fitting tribute.
A key.
Why, you bomb-botched
He's ruined the game! Disgraceful!
They say a great delight. It's positively useless. She can't possibly.
Ah! Watch it.
You have no need for a servant, perchance, Master Teacher?
But your praise.
No buts.
Whoa!
If you please, Your Grace.
We do not please. We act out of the highest necessity. Or shall be explained later.
But it's against the rules.
I am the rules. Geralt! At last.
Got a key and a clue.
I've another. Show me yours. Who wrote this drivel? I begin like a groan, hollowed out with ease, then end like a mouse, with a head of hard cheese.
Let's see. Grown. With ease gives us green, right? And mouse with the head of hard cheese. Greenhouse?
You're a genius. Several greenhouses in the gardens, indeed. But only one locks, the key to which looks just like the one we found.
Greenhouse it is then. Let's go. Wait here.
budge?
What was that?
I'm here.
This belonged to you, maybe?
It did, but you may keep it. I've a new one. I do not know you. I've done you no harm. Yet first you butchered a Bruxer who was dear to me. Now you pursue me. Why?
You've killed 4 innocent people, at least.
And you? How many innocents have you cut down?
Plenty. Even more of the guilty, though. You're next.
I think not. You see, I have something to do still.
More murders?
Just one. Not counting yours.
Let you kill again.
You were to stay where you were. Regenerate!
I know you're in trouble. I can help.
I'll help myself!
No, he's my friend.
Yes, Geralt, it's me.
Regis? You alright?
All is well. All's in order. Wounds such as these heal on vampires in moments. But we've not seen one another in ages, my friend. At least in human terms, that is.
How's this even possible? Last I saw you...
I was a bubbling, shapeless smear, having been rather spectacularly melted into a column of a certain castle. In somewhat better shape now, as you can see. Hardly peak form, mind you, but were I human, folk would think me a demigod, I dare say.
I'm sorry. What happened? It was my fault. Never got a chance to apologize.
No need, Geralt. Bygones. I did not have to join you on that expedition. No one twisted my arm.
Miraculous regeneration. How do you manage it?
I had help. From the one you hunt.
Him? How? And what have you been doing all these years?
Not the time nor place for such stories. I suspect we'll get a chance to speak at ease and at length later. Now, however, we must deal with the reason that brought us both here.
serial killer seems to obey you. Maybe you could talk him out of it, convince him to stop murdering.
Why do you think I'd come? It shall not be easy, as Dettlaff can be rather stubborn. Though you must certainly recall that neither do I surrender readily.
So that's his name. He's your friend?
You might call it that. Though Dettlaff is, how would you humans put it, more bestial than I am. But not to worry. I'm working on him.
Haven't exactly done a great job with that. He's killed one knight since I got here. At least 3 others before I arrived.
For good reason, I'm sure. Understand, Dettlaff is not some decadent shit who kills for sport, or to assuage a dryness of throat or a dullness of mood.
So in your opinion, what are his reasons?
Precisely what I wish to find out. And then I will convince him of the error of his ways.
Got a lot of faith in the guy.
Despite appearances to the contrary, you two are quite alike. You've both noble hearts, yet you both are wont to perform ignoble deeds. When circumstances force you to, of course. Remember the year 964?
That was 3 centuries ago.
Blind fear gripped Rivia, Lyria, and Spala. Women and children were dying. Their mutilated, dismembered corpses littered the fields.
Brute of Lyria. Read about it. Chewed up almost 200, then fell to a common poacher supposedly armed with a dagger blessed by some prophet.
It fell to Dettlaff, who then found a poacher asleep in the brush near his snares and dropped the fiend's corpse at his feet. And thus, a legend was born.
Awfully good of him. But do I need to know this?
Yes. So you'll understand Dettlaff is no cold-blooded killer. I believe he's landed in some mess and he sees no way out.
What makes you say that?
Vilgefortz melted my body. Dettlaff found what was left. As per our codex, he had a choice. To leave me where I was, or to care for me and nurture my remains. He chose the latter. Regenerated me at no small expense in his own blood. Do you know what that means to a vampire? The gravity of the endeavor?
Probably same thing it means to a human. You owe him your life.
Much more than that. The act itself made us blood brethren. A bond so strong humans cannot even imagine. Which is why I know something ill is afoot.
Always had an overdeveloped sense of empathy.
Each vampire has a unique talent. One they hone over centuries. It's precisely what renders us so difficult to classify. Dettlaff's trump card is his herd instinct. His tribal propensity. In point of fact, he prefers the company of lesser vampires and shuns that of humans. If he walks among you, killing egregiously, it can only mean something's upset him. Immensely.
Gotta find him, before something upsets him even more, and all Beauclair is awash with blood.
Well, we share a cause then, just like the old days.
Not entirely. I mean, when I find him, you know.
I know you've a contract on his head. Yet your true task is to stop the beast killing, not necessarily to kill the beast, am I right?
All in all, sure.
Let us find him. By the time we do, I hope I'll have convinced you Dettlaff is no monster.
Fine, all right already. But for now, evidence is stacking up against him.
Hear that?
The posse. Knights must have tracked me here.
I prefer they not find me here. I've makeshift quarters at Mère Lachaise Long Cemetery. We'll meet there.
See you.
Witcher, we flew here as fast as our courses would carry us. Yet I fear we're late all the same. Pray, where is the beast?
Still investigating. About to inspect this site. Withdraw your men before they trample all over the evidence.
Sirs, we must let the Witcher do his work. Milton's murder cannot go unavenged. a witcher to ply his trade. Good hunting to you, Witcher. We're relying on your mastery of your craft.
Patrolling on an empty.
Sir! Sir! A letter for you, sir!
Letter? Who from?
Can't rightly say, sir. I was just to deliver it.
Here. And thanks.
No, sir. Thank you. And I truly hope I'll be of service again.
My dear Geralt.
I hope all is well. I imagine you hot on the trail of some nasty monster. Or is it an overly complex curse this time? Oh, Geralt, I wish I knew for certain. Whatever is keeping you busy, perhaps you'll need a break. For those moments, I offer you this intriguing little mystery I happened on in an old manuscript I bought off a merchant from Nazaire. The tome's author claims a certain Professor Moreau once called Beauclair home, and this professor conducted research into Witcher mutations. I don't know much else, but I suspect that alone might pique your interest. The tome mentioned a journal interred with the scholar when he passed. It could very well lead you to his laboratory. I'm enclosing a map I found folded in the tome. It's smudged in a few places, but I hope it proves useful anyway. Please be careful, and come back to me quickly. Your Triss.
The professor who studied Witcher mutations. Might actually be worth looking into.
You'll not find wood. Not paying workers.
Oh! The butcher and the lapidary have all to be the same characters.
Good day. A man who dare not down some red.
Welcome home, sir. I am Barnabas Basilfauti. By order of the Duchess, I shall serve you as Major Domo of Corfu Bianca. I previously served with distinction at the Nibli family manor and in Nazaire with Admiral Rompali, who, as you are certain to know, is an extraordinary demanding gentleman.
Whoa, Barnabas Basil. One thing you ought to know. I'm not your typical landed gentleman. Truth be told, this is the first real property I've ever owned.
Oh, in that case, you must leave it all to me. I shall organize, see to everything, and whip the house into order. I dare say this place will soon be the most prosperous vineyard around.
Great. Can already see I'm in good hands. Vineyard comes across as a place with a rich history. Know who owned it before me?
Baron Rossel, who went bankrupt, forcing him to sell the estate to the Duchess. The Baron, in turn, had purchased it from Monsieur Bolius of the Headsman, a truly colorful man of Ketweni origin.
He was actually a headsman?
No, not him, but his great-great-great-great-grandfather. Indeed. Apparently, he was a common cut-purse who somehow secured for himself the post of ducal headsman in Beauclair. Went about his work with an exceptional penchant. They say he chopped off more heads than there are grapevines in the ducal vineyards. He never hesitated, not once. Never sliced unevenly, never botched a job. For his exemplary service, the Duke granted him a title and this estate. Monsieur Bolius, on the other hand, was an engineer in his younger years. Once retired, he settled here and took to producing wine. Sadly, misfortune struck and he lost his sense first of smell, then of taste. Additionally, he could not drink alcohol. His medic forbade it.
Shame that. He gave up making wine?
Not at all. He made even more of it. Began throwing wild balls to which he'd invite friends from far and wide in order to treat them to his wine and delight in the fact that at least someone could enjoy it. It's the sort of man he was, Monsieur Bolius.
Mind giving me a little tour de Corvo Bianco?
Not in the least. Follow me, please. I think it would be practical to begin on the hill. Behold, sir, your estate in all its splendor.
Pretty vast.
Indeed. And now, sir, allow me to show you a handful of interesting details. Follow me, please.
Been a major domo all your life?
Yes, I come from a long line of major domos. My father was a major domo, as was my grandfather before him, as was my great-aunt. In fact, she was the one to start the tradition.
Great-aunt?
A hard woman. It is said that already as a child, she knew where she was going, and went there. When she arrived in Beauclair, she signed on as a chambermaid at one of the vineyards, then slowly worked her way up to major domo. She dragged the rest of the family up the same path. Follow me, please.
A bushel of grapes is more a burden than that.
The servants' quarters. I occupy the green home. With the Duchess's permission, I have hired a full staff. Their salaries to be paid from the ducal treasury.
Nice of her.
Not the most sightly part of the estate, I admit. But I think it worthwhile for you as master of the domain to know where the help stays. Baron Rossel ordered the vines in this part of the estate uprooted and olive groves planted in their place. They look beautiful, especially come spring.
Don't look at all bad now, either.
I work up to my chin and I caught some rot.
The book of lust is hard and girthy. Down below lies your vineyard, where we grow a strain of Carfanere, one of the world's oldest. Aged in oak barrels, it provides for an exquisite wine with distinct blackberry, wild cherry, plum, and cinnamon notes. Marvelous.
Have to try it one of these days.
He tried to stick an egg back up a hen's hind. It defies the
Nice well. Picturesque.
Yes, though it ran dry long ago. During the raucous feasts Master Bolius held, he would order it filled with wine. There's a tale about a guest attending a Bolius ball for the first time and thus unaware of the custom. He had suffered great heartbreak and had decided to end his life by jumping into the well. The festivities were coming to a close, and the well was nearly empty when the suicidal guest finally jumped. instead of killing himself, he merely broke his legs. To numb the pain, he drank the wine.
Drank himself to death?
Not at all. When found the next day, he had concluded he'd witnessed twin miracles. The water had been changed into wine, and he had survived. He retired to a monastery in the Dragon Mountains and began preaching the wisdoms of Lebioda.
I liked you from the start. Every Witcher I've known has been a swell lad.
Follow me. Monsieur Bolius, his wife Nina, kept a garden here. A supremely lovely place it was.
Bit neglected now.
I agree. Yet nothing stands in the way of restoring it to its former glory, and once again planting it with herbs and other vegetation. Follow me, please. Madame Nina planted diminutive, delicate flowers and herbs here. One might say their aroma still hangs in the air.
You're quite the romantic, Barnabas Basil.
Follow me, please. This served as an additional wine cellar in years of plentiful harvests.
Bit of work, and it'll make a fine stable for Roach.
The days pass.
Follow me,
Pile
please.
of work remains.
The cellars, voila. During Monsieur Bolis's time, wine was kept here, but Baron Rossel used it to store olive oil as well. I took the liberty of cleaning up the mess, which
I made while fighting the Bruxa. Thanks, Barnabas Basil. Appreciate it.
Follow me, please. As you can see, the facade is, how to put it, slightly stained. But one cannot deny it, a certain subtle southern charm.
True, though it could use a bit of subtle paint.
Follow me, please. And welcome inside. On the left is the master bedroom. On the right, the dining hall and kitchen. Upstairs, you shall find the guest room, currently used for storage.
Not a bad idea.
At the moment, the house is only minimally furnished. Yet I believe we will, together, devise some innovative arrangements. A few paintings, for instance, would breathe new life into the abode immediately. With that, sir, you've seen the full lay of the land. Corfo Bianco is a beautiful estate. One must admit, time has taken its toll. Forgive me for being forward, but if you were to choose to invest a small sum towards its beautification, consider me at your service on the matter.
Think I'll take you up on that. Be sure to come and see you if I decide to do any remodeling. Mentioned the place could stand to be spruced up.
Oh, most decidedly, sir. The question is where you would like to begin this rejuvenation.
Got these spacious grounds. But maybe it's time to make them more... useful.
Oh, yes. We certainly should. The way I see things, given your trade, sir, you would be wise to put in a grindstone and an armorer's table. A good way to start things off, don't you think?
My armor needs work from time to time. You know, oil this, reinforce that. Could use it.
Admiral Rompali once hired a specialist who made the finest...
Good.
Immediately, sir. Will you be needing...
In my...
Of course.
Then send...
Of course. Will you be needing...
Been thinking about...
If I might dare to make a suggestion, why not start with a general renovation? I once oversaw such work at Admiral Rompali's summer residence. The effects were simply breathtaking. Not only did the residence positively sparkle afterwards, but we also made room to display the Admiral's armor and weapons, of which he was a passionate collector.
It's in your hands then. Make the place shine.
I shall get to work immediately. Within a day's passing, I shall have sent for the crew which rebuffed the Admiral's residence. They are the finest specialists around. Highly skilled at what they do, it shall not take them too long, I wager. 2 days after they begin, your eyes will behold your residence in its refurbished, rejuvenated, beautified state. Is there anything else you require, sir?
Know what? Changed my mind.
I shall be glad to answer.
Thanks.
Wine is better than stew, for stew you have to...
Strange. Something behind this wall, I think. A laboratory. Must have been an alchemist at one time. Renovations coming along all right, Barnabas Basil?
Superbly, sir. General refurbishment has been completed. And I took the liberty of adding 2 racks, each upon which you might hang weapons and armor, if you've some pieces you'd like to display. Likewise, I have prepared a few spots in which new paintings might be hung. In other news, the laborers dusting out the cellar have made a most unusual discovery. I believe it's something you'll wish to see.
You mean the lab in the cellar? Saw it. So, one of the previous owners interested in alchemy?
A laboratory? Alchemy? I know nothing of it. But I understand that to a witcher this must be a very intriguing find.
It is. It was walled up. Equipment's pretty ancient too, so it must have belonged to someone who lived at Corvo Bianco before you started working here. Whoever it was sure knew their stuff, though. Got dragon glass vials and flasks, stills, sublimators, bengarometers.
Forgive me, sir, but I fear I don't follow.
Just saying, it's top-notch equipment. True masterpieces of craftsmanship for use in alchemy. Brewing a concoction with this stuff versus doing it over an open fire? Well, there's no comparison.
Then I am all the more delighted you discovered it, sir.
Starting to really like this place. Maybe we should keep going, refurbish some more. What do you think, BB?
As you wish, sir. Shall we see to the house or the grounds this time?
Feels like by investing a bit of coin, I could make the house more functional.
Indeed. Momentum is best maintained once established. Now that we've finished the general renovations, you might begin to consider such things as a new bed, or additional armor stands, or weapon racks. Also some new furnishings, and a fresh coat of paint on the walls would do much to improve the guest quarters.
Thinking about buying a...
Excellent idea.
Great.
True indeed, true. Is there anything...
Could use...
I know of it.
Fine.
Of course, that... Is there anything...
Along...
I agree.
Yes.
It goes... By this time...
Was wondering about the guest room. Not that I'm expecting company, but...
Oh, but that is immaterial. All self-respecting homes should boast a comfortable guest room. What if someone were to drop by unannounced?
Yeah. Sooner we start on that, the better.
I can tell a man of action immediately. I'll see to it myself. The room shall be ready in 2 days, in my opinion. Is there anything else you require, sir?
Starting to get into this whole renovating thing. There must be other things we can improve.
What a splendidly wise idea. Now that the general refurbishment is done, why not see to the grounds? Perhaps renovate the stables, or return Madame Bolis's garden to its former verdancy?
You know Roach, my horse? Well, we've been through a lot together. And since I've finally got a decent place to stay, I think she deserves one too.
Oh, a sturdy stable testifies to a most honorable owner. Just say the word, and I'll have them start working on it at once.
My Roach deserves the best. Have them refurbish the stables.
I shall get to work at once. But finding workmen and completing construction takes time, though likely no more than 2 days. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
So, sometimes I have to brew a potion, but I can't find the herbs I need growing anywhere nearby.
Well, you're in luck, sir. The flower garden, once kept by Madame Nina, Monsieur Bolis's wife, seems the ideal place to cultivate herbs. In fact, it's roomy enough to plant shrubbery.
Good idea, Barnabas Basil. Herbs there will save me hours of painstaking searching and harvesting.
The idea is yours, sir. I am but the humble executor of your will. Will you be needing any...
That's all for... renovations coming along all right?
I am delighted to inform you we have completed our labors. You can now devote yourself to enjoying the vineyard's delights to the fullest. You must forgive me my temerity, sir, but I thought, with all the work on Corfo Bianco completed, and with the estate looking more beautiful than ever, it might be appropriate to commemorate the moment.
Sure, why not?
During the tidying that preceded the renovations, I came across a bottle of Sacramento, the 1250 vintage. I cannot say by what miracle it survived, but it is here, and we've course to open it today. And then he ran straight into the crowd, burning bouquet in hand. All thought it a part of the performance, so they only laughed, even when the decor began to catch fire. It was not until the flames engulfed Baron Mahevkin's beard that folk began to realize something was amiss and went to put out the fires.
Sounds like Monsieur Bolius and Madame Nina threw some first-rate balls here.
It was so. In this regard, Baron Rossel was decidedly more reserved.
So tell me, Barnabas Basil, what's the wine situation like here? Am I going to produce any this year?
This year is out, I fear, sir. Last autumn, a fungus destroyed all the vines. Baron Rossel had new ones planted, but it will be some time before they start bearing fruit. Assuming that is, the fungus does not reappear.
That'd be bad. This Sacramento got me dreaming. It's amazing.
Isn't it, though? Allow me to top you off, sir. There.
Thanks.
Innkeeper's boy got so sauced the other day, he tried to stick an egg back
Good
up
health
a
to you.
hen's hiding.
Just plumb lovely.
Terry
Tail.
in good health. A witcher. We could use one around here, full time.
Now I shall sing you a song. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8.
where you trade. The Dutch is small, but do you know any who's not heard of our wines? You smell?
His long search for Ciri led Geralt to conclude that Uma, the ugliest man alive and the victim of a curse, was the key to finding the young woman.
Step aside.
Oh, a witcher. You're about the dragon, I reckon.
Tell me about this dragon. What's it look like, for instance?
You don't know? What kind of monster slayer are ye? It's got scales, wings, claws. A dragon's a dragon. Oh, point Gavin. Just go kill it, before it makes more corpses.
Let's talk about the reward. See what you're offering for this dragon. Usually get that much for a necker.
It's a lot, but then the dragon's a lot too. So be it. Exit.
Witchers don't usually kill dragons, but I'll look into it. You said something about victims, right?
2 brothers, Askell and Nillis, went out to hunt, turned into prey. Wounds so horrible, even I went weak in the knees when they brought them in. And I've seen my share of bloody harm. Been on 32 raids, from Povus to the mountains of...
Fascinating story, I'm sure, but I'm more interested in these wounds. Can you describe them?
Look for yourself. Family's only now preparing the boy's funeral. Their corpses still lie in their home, at the village's northern end. Treat the bodies with respect, mind ye, as tradition demands.
Well, well.
Another come to gawk at the dragon's victims. Perhaps I should start charging for the pleasure.
Perhaps. I wouldn't pay you, though. See enough corpses in my line of work. I'm a witcher. Here because I took the contract for that dragon of yours.
Oh, forgive me. I didn't know. How can I help?
Where were the bodies found?
In the glade past the river. The lads, they liked that place since they were tykes. They'd go there to catch hares.
Might not be easy for you, but I have to look at their injuries.
At least you asked me permission, not like the others. If it'll help you kill the beast, fine. Do as you will.
That's everything for now. Thanks for your help. And I promise to avenge them. Claw marks, bite marks, but no fire damage. Interesting. Dragon. Couldn't lift a cow, just tore it up and left it here. Cow's blood. Might lead me to the lair. Shattered. Fell from high up. A nest. The forktails looks like, but it's empty. No point waiting. Gotta rustle up some bait.
So will you help with the dragon, or not?
Found your dragon's nest, but I'll need bait to kill it. A sheep, for instance.
Ah, I see. Gonna stuff it with sulfur.
Another ally of the brave little shoemaker. No, I'll manage without sulfur. Just need a sheep, unseasoned.
Fine. There's one I can give you. A bit mangy, but it'll do. Know how to get a sheep to move where you want? Gotta drive it like a sheepdog. Go at it from the left, it'll go right. Go at it from the right, it'll go...
If dogs have figured it out, think I'll manage as well. How do you call the sheep? Here, sheepy sheepy? Hey sheep, come here. We got us a fork-tail to hunt. Giddy up, sheep. Move along. Whoa. sheep. Go frolic. You've earned it.
Will you help with the dragon, or not?
Solved your problem.
And? That it? Tell me more. Did the dragon breathe fire, spit venom?
Yeah, and it had golden scales and smoke poured out its ass like it does out of a chimney.
Just like the skulls sing it. You've earned your reward.
And the princess's hand. But I'll just take the coin.
Monster. Up comes the witch.
Harpies got their nest here. Faster.
Hey there! Come take a gander.
Greetings. Looking to buy?
So long.
Do it again! Hold off the mark and never look back!
Cut your horse's hide! That'll get its herd moving!
Slow
Give us all you got! Faster!
Damn it.
God bless and reward you, Witcher. No, I can't. Come by the boat. It's not far.
Ah, that one. Greetings, Witcher.
Hear about the missing miners. Might be able to help. What happened?
Well, we'd heard tales of silver in the northern hills, and seen as coins needed to ready longships for raids, we sent a few lads to see how much truth was in the tales. And, well, they've yet to return.
Gotta start by searching for them. That'll take time, and drive up costs.
Long as they don't soar too high. I can throw in a few crowns more, for the good of our lads. I'll let it stand. Deal.
Might not be much silver in the hills, but there are monsters, definitely. I'll see if the miners came across any.
Thank ye, Witcher. You were there, Nicky.
That's it, Roach.
Fresh meat!
Might want to look around some. Wasn't a fair fight. Didn't stand a chance. Blood hasn't even dried. Splattered with blood for a few feet around. A lot of it. Blood hasn't even dried. Blood hasn't even dried. Definitely came through here. Blood hasn't even dried. Blood hasn't even dried. Another victim. Miners' camp. Could find some clues. Footprints. Human. wounds caused by a blunt instrument. Ribcage smashed in. Someone crawled through here with a broken leg. Wind didn't fell these trees. Something else did. Something big. Crushed bones. Human bones. A rock troll looks like. Dead. Just dead. Extensive bruising and abrasions. Broken bones. Silver vein. What they came for. What they died for. Wait, I want to talk.
Talk? Talk? But you call? Or call you wham-a-wham like this?
Exactly. Why do you wham 'em?
Things in walk troll house. Trolls say outmans, but they wham-a-wham troll rocks. So troll wham too.
Sorry. Stop it. I want to talk. Wait, I want to talk.
Talk? Get...
So, damn, you're ugly.
Maybe they got lost. They've been hauling lumber along this road for 20 years. You think they got lost? Maybe quiet structure. Granda told me they once roamed these woods. We'll stick together. It'll all work out.
What wouldn't... Farewell.
Hey, we hurt. We got we feel like we just were dying.
Must be that famous witcher.
Any last words? You can come out. They're dead. Who are they?
Bandits. Matman Lugos's men. And who are you, my good man?
Geralt of Rivia. I'm a witcher.
Thanks for your aid. If you'd not come by, we'd have been done for.
Lugos will wonder what happened to his men. What'll you do?
Don't worry about us. Send my boy off to Caird Trolda, hasty like. The Earl's not like to let Lugos off. You best watch your own back. Lugos finds out, he'll try to get even.
Think I'll manage.
Ah, where are you walking? Let our Shalmar be your guide. He felled the giants.
Go, go.
See you bad vapors.
Oh, where are you walking?
Not too many foreigners
Well,
in the
what
Isles.
is it in the olden days?
Greetings.
Greetings. Fare thee well. Recognize your type a mile away.
Squirt right to my face.
Don't see.
Well, my dad's off fighting the Black Ones.
You were there in the king when the weir burned the town.
Tell the Jarl. He's in charge.
Oh, that one.
Did it hurt that monster when you killed it?
You must be prospering around here, huh? Heard there's silver in that house.
Tell me, lad, are you sailing this night?
Carrack, they've outwent there to sell furs. Said they've not got a full garrison.
Oh, aye. Must have sent men against the Black Ones. Not expecting anyone to strike from the sea.
Then they're in for a surprise. And we're in for glory and riches.
Careful now.
Would very well be your lucky day.
Look! Look!
Oi, mate!
Not too many warnings. Greetings, Watcher.
Found your miners. They went in a troll's cave and started mining, while the troll was home.
Did any...
No. Troll won't be any more trouble, though.
Small comfort?
Still earned my reward.
Yeah, here. Safe journey to you. You were there in the cave?
Friends we show heart, foes we show our axes.
Hemdall watches over plan to be your sec. The
What
blood
are
of
you looking at?
My little Norgan's birthday tomorrow. I've no clue what to get.
What's this? It's, adornment.
Respect, Jude.
Melt this blade and forge it again. A sword, but
Swear back.
So long.
mind your manners.
What's it?
Swear back. Was
Wouldn't mind a look. So long.
Swords need thumping.
Respect, Witcher.
swear back.
Wouldn't mind. So long.
Mind your manners.
Something I've always wondered. What'll you Witchers do once there are no basilisks, leshens, or giants around? Eh?
Swords need thumping.